Hi everyone, I'm Jewel with J7409 Weather. Today, of course, is Thursday, the 24th of October, 2019. Thanks so much for checking out the weather with me today. And while you're over here, if you would, please subscribe, click the bell, and check off all. I would appreciate it so very, very, very much. Look here, folks. This popped up yesterday. It's going to bring a lot of rain up into these areas, okay? A lot of rain up into these areas, and as this system pushes on across, rain all the way up to Maine in the next few days. Not as much, but in this area right in here, lots of rain's expected. Also, we got some snow that's going to be happening in the Texas Panhandle. I'm going to tell you all about all of this in just a few moments. But right now, this is just a broad area of low pressure. It is associated with a tropical wave, and it continues to produce disorganized showers and thunderstorms, mainly over southern Mexico and the Bay of Campeche. Now, some development of the system is possible during the next couple of days while it moves generally northwestward and then northward over the western Gulf of Mexico. If the system is forecast to merge with a cold front over the weekend, in 2 days very low, 20%, in 5 days still very low, only 30% chance of forming. But it is going to mix in with this cold front that is moving in, and we're going to check that out right now. Now, as we check out some of the temperatures for the highs today, this is just for today only. You can see it's going to be a little chilly. Yeah, a little chilly. We got a cold front coming down in this area. As for the southern states, Florida is a hot spot. Look at there, they got a 90 there, mostly 90s and 80s. When you get to the Panhandle, though, you're in the 70s. As we move on up the coastline, looking like for South Carolina, Georgia, North Carolina, and Virginia, we're going to stay mainly in the mid to lower 70s, moving right on up, looking like New Jersey's in the 60s, New York is in the 60s right on up to Maine. Maine is 60 for a high today. Who knows, it may get a couple of degrees warmer, or it may not. We'll have to wait and see. But the cold areas are out here. As we can see, Minnesota's highs in the 40s today, along with Wisconsin, Iowa, most of Missouri. Missouri will hit a 50 now and then. Tennessee's looking like it's in the 70s for the most part in the western section. When you move over to the eastern section, closer to the Appalachian Mountains, over in this way here, you're in the upper 60s. Over here, we got snow going on in Colorado, and that snow's going to come down in New Mexico and in the Panhandle of Texas. Look at that, 33 for a high today in the Panhandle of Texas. Wildfires still have a great chance going on over in Colorado. This is what today's highs are looking like when we go over to the lows. Woo! Cold weather is pushing in, as you can see. Look there, look there. Over in Idaho, in the 20s and 30s. We got in the mountainous areas of Nevada, 23, moving on along here. When we get down to Colorado, lower 20s, New Mexico in the 20s, the Panhandle of Texas in the 20s. Can you believe that? As we move on up some, North and South Dakota, we have some 20s in South Dakota, 20s in North Dakota with some 30s mixed in. Minnesota's looking like upper 20s to lower 30s right along with Iowa. Moving on across over to Indiana, looking like nighttime lows tonight should be in the 40s. That should stretch all the way down through parts of Oklahoma. And when it comes over to western Tennessee, going to be in the 50s. That's cold's going to spread eastward into the 40s. Up in Maine, 44. New York's looking like mostly in the lower to mid 40s, along with Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Ohio, Virginia's the same. Of course, if you're in the mountain range, you may hit some 30s. Over on the coastline here in Virginia, it's looking like 40s, 50s for North Carolina, 60s for South Carolina, and 70s down in Florida. And here we have the GFS map. Let's turn it on and get going right quickly as it moves through. I will show you we'll talk about what's going on. You can see it on the map. It's looking like this heavy snow over portions of the central and southern Colorado will taper off by late this afternoon, okay? It's an amplifying upper trough digging down the central Rockies, is bringing a quick round of heavy snow across central to southern Colorado for today. Now, cold air pushing up the mountain slopes is going to help to produce the snowfall in amounts of 4 to 8 inches over the front range, with higher totals in the foothills, some possibly in excess of a foot. We've talked about the temperatures. The temperatures are going to be 20 to 30 degrees colder today across the southern to central high plains in the wake of this cold front compared to yesterday's highs. Now, as this upper trough digs toward the southern plains later today, a narrow band of heavy snow will be possible across the Texas Panhandle in the afternoon and evening hours tonight, which will be disruptive to travel in areas for the morning. Tomorrow morning, you could get 1 to 3 inches, maybe a little more. This is for the Texas Panhandle. Farther downstream, the instability ahead of the upper trough is expected to trigger showers and thunderstorms today across central Texas. And that's where we're going to have a risk of maybe some severe thunderstorms hatch up. Now, by tomorrow, the upper trough is expected to draw a plume of tropical moisture northward from the western Gulf of Mexico into the central Gulf Coast region, like I was talking about when I showed you that little system a while ago from the National Hurricane System. Now, this system will likely spread the rain further northeastward into the Mississippi and Tennessee valleys tomorrow night into early Saturday. Meanwhile, we got low relative humidities and gusting winds, and of course that's going to lead to dangerous conditions favorable for spreading wildfires across the sections of Northern California and Southern California. The Santa Ana winds gusting up to 60 miles per hour are expected to impact these areas today as the strong ridge of high pressure settles across the western U.S. Temperatures will be in the upper 80s to 90s with little moisture in the air across north central California and southern California. Across the eastern U.S., high pressure systems going to dominate the region today and tomorrow, keeping daytime temperatures near average for us. My temperatures right now are what they should be. Now, it's looking like for tomorrow morning, a cool morning for the mid-Atlantic region. Maybe a little frost here and there. We'll have to wait and see. This is for the mid-Atlantic area. Now, as we look at where severe weather may break out today when it comes to thundershower activity, you can see there is a marginal risk of severe thunderstorms across parts of the southern plains, especially down in this section of Texas as I was just talking about. So far as tornadoes, doesn't look like any chance of these storms producing tornadoes at this time. The winds should be about 5 to 10%, and the hail is going to be low also. So that's what this is looking like. If you're in any of these areas in the green, just, if you have a thunderstorm pop up, just watch it. I had a tornado right across the river from me night before last, okay? That is why I wasn't on yesterday. I did not get hit, but I had internet problems, crazy. I couldn't get a video out to you. So that's why I wasn't on yesterday. These storms can pop up. If they do, just have a safe place to go. It was a rough night that night for many along eastern North Carolina. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe. I would appreciate it so much. I hope each of you have a good day, a safe day, a blessed day. Thank you for subscribing, the comments, the thumbs up. Appreciate it all so much. Everything you do for me. I love you all so much. And I missed you yesterday. Have yourself a blessed day, okay? Much peace, love, and kindness to each of you. And thank you so much for watching.